Okay, in this video I'm going to record myself executing the tutorial 13 Horseshoe example for the Elmer software. Just going to pull this over to my other screen to follow along as I execute it. First off, we're going to append our definitions with the extra definitions not loaded by default for magnetodynamics. We're going to see that appended because we see these mg-dyne2d PDEs loaded. Next, we're going to open the Horseshoe mesh found in that same folder, or similar folder, share, Elmer GUI, samples, gmesh, horseshoe.mesh. There we go. We have a large region of air surrounding magnet shape. Next, we're going to define some equations. The equation name will be the same as the PDE tab it's associated with. This particular equation gets a few settings. We'll add that one, and we'll do a second equation for the post processor. Enable that one as well. Now that we have some equations, we're going to define some materials. We'll define air, permeability of 1, iron, relative permeability of 5,000, and then we'll add some magnetized iron. I'm going to copy the magnetization value from the tutorial PDF. There we go. And then the iron minus is the same as iron plus, except with a sign difference. Call that one iron minus. Okay, check our iron plus, looks good. Plain old iron and air. Okay, now that we've created the materials, we can associate them with regions. So there's our air. Zoom in a little bit. The curved portion, plain old iron. The upper tip is plus, and the lower minus. Okay, next we'll add a boundary condition. Call it far field. Check the infinity BC box, add OK. And we need to associate that boundary condition with some geometry as well. So we'll change our checkbox. We have 4 arc segments to select and associate. Okay, now we can see all the values that we've just created show up in our CIF file. Equation 1, equation 2. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 materials and 1 boundary condition, and all of the properties that we selected. Okay, with that, we're going to save the project, put it in a folder on my C drive here. Now let's see if we can run it. We get a convergence, that's great. Run the post processor, and we see some magnetic fields there. We can zoom in on them using the controls. I'm going to change my mesh settings so that we can actually see the outline of the iron magnet to differentiate the magnetic fields inside the iron from those through the air.